Hi everyone, my name is Mr. Watson, and today we're going to be looking at my top 5 quotations from Mrs Sybil Birling. These are just some of my suggestions, so feel free to use or discard them as you see fit. And if you know of any other quotations from Mrs Birling that I miss out in this video, feel free to leave them in the comments section below so you can support one another. Let's get started. As if a girl of that sort would ever refuse any money. Mrs. Birling here assumes that Eva was lying about the baby's father stealing money to help her, implying that because she is of a lower class, that she wasn't capable of showing morality. The phrase "as if" tells us that Mrs. Birling thinks this idea is ridiculous, with "that sort" showing how judgmental she is of people who are of a different social standing to her. The verb refuse suggests that she stereotypes the poor, implying that they look for any and every opportunity of getting money handed to them. You know, of course, that my husband was Lord Mayor only 2 years ago, and that he's still a magistrate. This quotation is from Act 2, when Mrs. Birling first meets the inspector. She immediately tries to challenge his authority by reminding him of her and her husband's social status. When she says "of course," she assumes that the inspector is already aware of this and is attempting to put him in line by reminding him in a socially subtle manner. Also, the proper noun Lord Mayor emphasises Mr. Birling's importance by using his full title, and this works to show her snobbery. She was claiming elaborate feelings and scruples that were simply absurd in a girl in her position. Another example of Mrs. Birling showing no sympathy whatsoever towards Eva's situation. She shows her cruelty here by suggesting that because Eva was poor and pregnant, that she wasn't capable of having fine feelings, most likely due to the fact that she was of a lower class and therefore considered inferior. No, of course not. He's only a boy. This is in response to the inspector suggesting that Eric is used to drinking. This shows Mrs. Birling's ignorance and lack of knowledge of even those in her own family, as it is later revealed that Eric does in fact have a drinking problem, and has had it for a long time. In addition, the use of the noun boy tells us that she refuses to see Eric as the young man he actually is, once again highlighting her inability to see things as they truly are. I use my influence to have it refused. Here, Mrs. Birling is telling the inspector that she used her position and status to refuse Eva's request for help. The abstract noun influence tells us that she exploited the authority and power that stems from her upper class standing. What's important to note here is that Mrs. Birling chose to not help Eva. She had the power and influence necessary to provide support and help her through this crisis, but she made the conscious decision to reject Eva's plea and carried no guilt or remorse whatsoever for her actions. Okay, I hope this video was useful to you in your revision of An Inspector Calls, and if it was, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up. Again, if you know any quotations that I haven't mentioned here from Mrs. Birling, you are more than welcome to put them in the comments so you can support each other. Also, while you're here, why not subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any future videos just like this one. As always, I'll thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.